You know, I had to think really hard about this review. I mean, I even grew a beard and mustache because of it. I did not shave because I didn't know what... I got puzzled. I'm like an old caveman going... having to scratch my head on what the hell did we just get. Now, don't get me wrong. The crowd mostly loved the show. Can he or not, you can see in the background the crowd did love the show. And for certain parts was very good. But when you really see, honestly, this show, it doesn't give me very much interest for Payback. Not at all. Let's open the show with Daniel Bryan. I'm just getting it done now. I'm not going to wait till the end of the show. The review this. He comes out twice. One to state that he has to have neck surgery. The second one is when Kane literally destroys him and he's carried away in a stretcher. Now here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. The thing that gets me. Now that could be rectified on the next SmackDown, this coming SmackDown, or the next Raw. What happens to the titles? Because nothing was stated. And this is what, normally what happens is that that person who holds the title, or in this case titles, must relinquish them. He had to either relinquish or be stripped of it. And we did get neither. Now I know people are going to say, well, what happened with Stephanie? She was going to say it. We know this. Well, yeah. But normally there isn't something to interrupt that. So that makes you think there's something going on. Could this be a work? I don't know. It could actually be real. They don't usually state neck surgery unless it's really real. But doing it in this respect, you could say is a very... It's a very double-edged sword. Doing this will make you feel, well, this is a cliffhanger. We need to know what's going on. But it also makes you think, this could be fucking fake. Why should I care? And the problem why I say, why should I care, is because Daniel Bryan does not have any credible threats. Let's be honest here, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel Bryan versus Triple H was a good feud, and if it was continued properly, we wouldn't have a problem with it. He could have gone through Batista and did a feud. Yeah, you could say he could have gone back to Randy Orton, but the main feud would have been Triple H. But now that's over because he's working with the Shield. And they had to throw Kane at this. Kane, who to me still feels corporate. For the only reason I say this is because they rushed him turning back to a monster. Now, I've already said this, that Kane needed to go back to being the Red Monster. But you would hope they would do this progressively. In other words, let him wear the mask, let him build up into it, let him begin to destroy people slowly and surely. Let him show that he is truly a monster. But they rushed it so badly because they wanted him ready by Extreme Rules. And I lost 100% interest in Kane. I'm saying it. I like Kane. But Kane being the way he is now, he seems like nothing. And that's stretching it. Think about it for a minute. Kane as he is now doesn't feel like a credible threat. He doesn't. He feels like a threat they threw at us because they had nothing else to throw at Daniel Bryan. And that's sad. And I have to say there is one possible side effect to this that might be good. Brie versus Stephanie McMahon. Brie Daniels. No, sorry, I gotta be, Brie Bryan. Her stage name. Brie Bryan versus Stephanie McMahon at possibly, I gotta really take this in carefully. Possibly at SummerSlam. I would actually be interested in seeing this. This could be a good side effect. Now let's move on. I'm gonna get this, no. Let's do this first. Dolph versus Fandango. You know I love Naomi. But if there was no Naomi, I would love me my Layla. In fact, before I saw Naomi Knight, I saw me a Layla L. And oh my goodness, with that puffy curly hair, I fell in deep love with that woman. And this was during a time I was still not looking 100% at the product yet. But the minute I saw her, only thing I want to do is see her. Now I know a lot of people are saying since she worked with Fandango and Summer's now somewhere else, that it's not going to be much for her to do. She's not going to be doing much. But to me personally, I don't care. Layla's getting paid because she's getting on TV. Now, do I want her in a real storyline with a real feud? Hell yeah, I do. I don't want to just see her as a dancer, but I can understand why they picked her. She's a former dancer. She used to be a Lakers girl, if I remember correctly. She used to dance her ass off. She could dance her way anywhere, in heels or in sneakers. It don't matter. So she's actually a good match. But this is where things get me. Two things. One, I believe that there's going to be a feud between Dolph and Fandango, and Summer's going to be Dolph's new partner. Do I want to see Dolph with another woman manager? No. I don't want to see him with any manager. Maybe if he was working with Paul Heyman and they completely stripped away to show his persona right now and let him work with Paul, Paul will probably build him up well. But they're always sticking with a female manager and he gets nowhere. And I'm not against female managers. You know how I feel about Alexander Rusev, which I will bring up next. But I feel like Summer is going to be a part of this. I feel like it. Because of what was mentioned after the match was over. Dolph won it. He leaves. You think that Layla is going to be kicked to the curb like Summer Rae. But Fandango says, no. No, I'm not mad. Shh. You give me a feeling that no one else makes me feel, that I disappear. The crowd disappears and it comes back again. Layla, I love you. And kisses the fuck out of her. She's literally biting his fucking lip. Shit! I didn't think this would upset me, man. I see him wiping his face, all that sweat and his hair going back, and he's going like this and he lays it on her, and I'm going like, alright. But then when I see him bite his lip, I'm going, motherfucker, no. Layla, no, why? Oh. Something I wish myself. But after seeing this, it makes me think there's going to be a feud. Now, since I talked about Alexander Rusev, Lana is gorgeous. She knows how to twist a crowd into anger. You stupid Americans, we show you that we are superior. That Alexander Rusev, I can't even do her voice. I don't want to do it. I just want to hold her. Seeing Hacksaw Jim Duggan come out, I always loved Hacksaw. When he went into the Royal Rumble, I was 17 years old. I was 16 when I saw it in 1988. I believe that was the right date for the Royal Rumble, 1988. I was only 16 years old, before my birthday. I loved seeing it. When I saw him win that, I was just ecstatically happy. I was. Seeing him now, he looks a bit deflated, but it doesn't mean I don't love the guy. Once Lana comes out with Alexander Rusev and says you get one chance, grovel for your safety, beg. He didn't say it exactly like that, and he said no. When Rusev grabbed that, and I'm upset about that. That's iconic. The piece of 2x4 is iconic when it comes to Hacksaw. For Alexander Rusev to break that sucker, no matter if it's not real wood, like light plywood or whatever, I don't care, is upsetting. But it's a beautiful thing they did that. To show him as angry and evil Russian. It's actually a good idea to do. Then Biggie Langston comes out and gets his ass handed to him like a Hacksaw Jim Duggan would have gotten his ass handed to him. Was well done. The crowd was chanting USA. It was a beautiful thing. This could be done very well. We don't get a USA versus USSR no more. So this could work. But it's hard to say. Now, I feel sorry for Sheamus. Let's be honest, I'm sorry for Sheamus. He's US champion, he has no one to feud with. Because if they did, they would give him a feud going to England. Curtis Axel versus Sheamus. Curtis Axel, partner versus Sheamus. Ryback versus Sheamus. Axel didn't last long, got his butt kicked. Then Ryback gets his butt kicked. What does this give us? Nothing. And that's the sad part. Really, it is. He could bring more interest to the U.S. Championship. But we're not going to get that. And where the hell was Bad News Barrett? We had Paige, we had Bad News Barrett, and we have Sheamus, 3 UK champions on this promotion. WWE. Why the hell couldn't they all be there? What, they were afraid there was too much UK love for them? I'm just saying. And I'm moving on to Paige versus Alicia Fox. Now, I know people are going to say, oh, Alicia Fox, we don't really care about her, but we love Paige. Yay! Look, Paige is still getting pops, which is good. But I believe they're not going to give her a feud yet. I believe there's 2 things. 3 things. 3 things. I take it back. 3 things. 1, they don't want to give any divas any feuds, which we know is a lie because of what happened with Natalya and Nikki Bella. And I'll be doing that in a minute. 2, she might be too young to give a real storyline to. They'll give her a feud, but not a storyline. And 3, they want to wait a while to see if she's capable of handling the new publicity she gets, going from NXT to Raw, straight. So that could be one of those 3. And as much as I know many people are going to say Alicia Fox is not the right person to use, actually, in a sense, she's the best they could come up with. Because they want to do stuff with Total Divas, they got to use somebody who's not on the Divas roster. That is on Total Divas. So they chose Alicia Fox. And I don't hate Alicia. I still think she's beautiful. Her boobs are small, but she's damn cute. But what happened after she got her butt kicked, screaming and yelling, wasn't 100% bad, but then after it's over, she's knocking things over. She tries to hit the announce table, hurts her nails, going, ow, like this. Bang, ow. You're supposed to be tougher than that. Then grabs everything, sprays beer everywhere, and then takes JBL's hat and starts prancing around. Even JBL's going, I don't blame him. I don't get it. This is what I think. I think they told her in the back before she went in the ring with Paige, look, we want Paige to have a feud. You're the best person we think could be good for her in a feud. Make yourself interesting. Make yourself really something that will catch the eye of people so the feud will make some interest, some substance. And I think that's the reason why she did it. Do I believe that was the right way to do it? No. I don't think that was really that good. That really sucked. But she did try to make an interest for Paige, and it did get to a point over. So do I believe it's good? No, but that's what we get. Second, another Divas match, which I believe they really screwed up very badly. Nikki versus Natalya. With Naomi, Cameron, Brie, and Eva Marie standing there with cards, that scorecards. It's not the point who won it or not. What they should have done was to give a backstage segment early in the night, only a minute long, explaining what happened. The commentators didn't make it better. They made it worse. They really did. There was no way to even understand why they were even putting up the numbers for. It was so scatterbrained, it made no damn sense. They must have thought of this at the last minute. Really. Because this was dumb. In the end, Nikki wins. Get it like this. Nikki smacks Natalya. Natalya smacks Nikki. They start doing some technical wrestling. In the end, Nikki wins. And then rubs Natalya's head like a little kid. That was stupid. Worse yet, which doesn't go with what's going on, and the cute Cameron, who I do love very much, holds up a 0 in front of Natalya's face, shoves I'm botching because this is really so scatterbrained. I bet you Cameron and Natalya are gonna have a fight. They're gonna have a match. It's gonna happen. If it's not on Tuesday Night Main Event, it's gonna be on SmackDown. It's going to happen. This will happen. And it makes no damn sense because they didn't have any prep beforehand. What a waste. They could have built something on this. Because of what happened with Total Divas, they could have actually used their heads and built this properly. And seeing Naomi's eyes get cracked on Total Divas that just aired upset me badly. I had to say. Now, moving on to Jack Swagger versus, who was it? Adam Rose or RVD? RVD, there was no match. Adam Rose coming out there with that entourage was epic again. It was good. Pissing off a Jack Swagger, falling back into the arms of his men and women was cool. And he loses. This just builds up for a Jack and Adam feud, which is alright with me. Use Jack in this way. I'm alright with that. Now, what else do we need to talk about now? I think I spoke about Cody Rhodes, but if I didn't, let me say it now. Cody Rhodes versus Damien Sandow. Cody possibly turned heel. I don't think so, but he could have possibly. This, in a sense, would make a full circle for him. About a year ago, he turned face with Damien. Now, it's a possibility with the rake of those eyes, he just turned heel. I don't know if it's true or not. If it is, it would actually make the Rhodes brothers either turn heel together, or you have a heel Cody Rhodes with a face Goldust finally give us a feud that we've been wanting for a while. I don't know, but let's hope. Now, might as well get it done. Cena and the Usos versus the Wyatts. No, you know what? I'm not going to do that now. Let me do Evolution and the Shield first. Let's get this done. Because I need to say something about Bray. Evolution in the beginning of the show getting their butts kicked by the Shield. And the Shield did make a nice promo segment in the beginning. Okay with it. The middle of the show when the Evolution spoke and then got the kick shit out of them. You see them botching. That fight in the middle of the show with the Shield and Evolution was not needed. That was overkill. Which really messed things up for the rest of the night. When it came to Roman Reigns and Batista, I was interested in seeing how Roman Reigns would work with someone the same size as himself. And it was doing alright. Until the Shield started fighting the Evolution started fighting Shield, and then Stephanie McMahon, who I will speak about in a minute. I think I already did, but just in case, I'll talk about it in a minute. Stephanie McMahon calls 10 guys out from the back to go and beat the shit out of the Shield. Then the Shield kicks the shit out of all 10 of them. Evolution's left in a corner because they have no chance to beat them. This was fucking overkill. It was a clusterfuck. It was not necessary to have 3 fights in the same night. One was adequate. In the beginning of the show would have been better. If it had to be in the middle, fine. But the end would have been bad. And then it's all throughout the night. You could say the crowd still loved it, and they did. But to me personally, it's a buzzkill. I want to see Evolution against the Shield, but not in this respect. There's so much they put on it. The Shield now, I have no interest in looking at Payback when the Shield goes up against Evolution because I just seen them kick their asses 3 times already. Why the hell should I care? And that's why I feel like I have no interest in this Payback. Because this is one of the prominent storylines and it's bullshit. And I don't want it to be. Now, with Stephanie, I think I said this earlier, but just in case, Stephanie McMahon facing Brie at SummerSlam will be, I hope, epic. Finally, the last match I'm going to talk about. Cena and the Usos versus the Wyatts. Cena beats Eric. I think he beats... Does he beat Eric or does he beat Luke? I can't remember. He beats one of them. He doesn't beat Bray directly. And it was a Uso that saved his ass, but also a Uso that almost crushed his head in. Because when he got that kick to the face, and I think it was Eric. I think that might have been Jimmy. No, Jay. I think it was Jay. Jay almost crushed John Cena's head with his knee. But essentially, John is the one who won that match. And it wasn't that bad of a match. The Usos is the one who dominated the match. They made it look good. But here's the problem. What now? I was scared about this. I've said this already, ladies and gentlemen. If John Cena stays with Bray Wyatt too long, he will bury him. And even though he's still getting over his promos, people are still cheering for him, and they love it. To be honest, there's no feud here. Bray Wyatt has been beaten at WrestleMania, 100% clean. It's over. Then in Extreme Rules, he wins because John Cena was scared about what the kid had represented, that his C-lation has been lost, which was dumb. If they let John Cena lose clean, there wouldn't be this problem of a loose end. Now, supposedly at SmackDown, I think the Wyatts won, and now John Cena won. I have no interest in this feud. For the simple reason there's no real consequence. Nothing. I don't see a consequence to this match. I don't see a consequence at Payback. In the end, we're going to get something that we're not going to like. A match with a guy that's always put over more than the people that they're trying to bring up. And the guy who's being brought up has the possibility of being buried in the next couple of months. Because I don't think this feud's going to end until at least... breathe. If this ends at SummerSlam, Bray Wyatt could salvage most of his fan base and interest. If this ends at Survivor Series, you can forget about Bray Wyatt. Because there's no way on this green earth he's going to survive it. That's just my feeling, but you guys tell me below. Now, how do I rate this show? Scatterbrained to a point. A clusterfuck. And why? What now? So I hope you enjoyed the Zane view. Please give me a comment below. Sorry this is running a little longer than I thought. There was a lot to talk about. Give me a thumbs up once in a while. See ya!